Good morning. So, let's see what's worthy of sharing today. There's so many things to talk about, so much that we look at all the time here within ourselves and within the people we work with. And what's been on the table for several months now is the healing of the divine masculine. And it presents itself differently as the weeks go on in terms of what layer. And we worked through a series of releasing obligations to free our hands and release fear and look at what we really desire. And then now we've been working for many weeks now on the layers of free expression. So in releasing obligations, it worked through the big joints, especially the shoulders, and then into the throat in the free expression, out the hands and arms. So what is that? What does that mean? How do you work with that? And what does that look like? On the physical layer for your body, you want to you want to functionally. It doesn't seem to make a difference really what foods you have, or whether you're more hydrated, or if your electrolytes are imbalanced. Try all these different things. Really, the frequency is more about releasing the form of the body, the restrictions in the body, and the restrictions are happening at the pectoral area and all around the breast tissue, and for males, of course, up against the on the serratus and against all of the ribs and all the muscles in between. And so by massaging out all this area, the shoulders and everything are releasing. There is, on the physical, actually, there is one thing that's coming up in the last week and a half for everybody, is movement in kidney stones. Again, Libra season coming to an end. We're working through the kidneys to the hands, and so the stones are now starting to release as we get deeper and deeper into more trust. This is an ongoing process, this healing of the divine masculine. I pulled some cards for those of you who like to use archetypes to explain it further. Garnering our strength, the primal root fire, fixed fire on earth, the primary Leo card, key 8. And key 11 in this deck. But anyway, that's the thought deck. But key 8, the number strength, corresponding to the 8-pointed star, the Dharma wheel, the navigation, the spoked wheel, the Bagua, everything that has to do with being fully embodied in all 4 directions multiplied by 2. And that means looking at our dual nature of these aspects of feminine and masculine, but in conscious form. When we are looking our dual nature of feminine and masculine, and we're awake to both of them, that means they are primarily more masculine. And so in the Eastern practices, they talk about 2 fires to 1 water in order to create the turning of the wheel, like the movement on the yin-yang symbol, that this dual nature is 2 conscious fiery elements, or the twin brothers in all the mysticism, and 1 watery, which is the form of interconnectivity. What does that mean? We're letting go of how we used to do, how we've been doing business and engagements, and how we've been navigating this earth for the last thousands of years now, where we're letting go of competitive, destructive, consumptive energy. So we don't, when you go back to myth, I pulled a card to represent this, and I got the Jupiter and Gemini over here, which is the 8 of Swords. Swords, the product of the mind. Gemini, the dual nature of the mind, the twins. We're healing in the divine masculine. We're resolving the fight, the competitive energy between our creative aspects of self inside our own body and outside our body with one another. So we're letting go of destructive competition In fact, letting go of competition and getting to cooperation only. We do not need to be competitive in order to create. Creativity happens inside presence. True creativity, true embodied creativity. So, the twins in the mysticism, as I was saying before and didn't finish, are the same as Osiris and Set, Cain and Abel, Quetzalcoatl and his dark star brother, and I can't remember Shojolo, or I can't remember it, it's XOXOIL. In the Aztec myth, to the Egyptian, to the Christian, they're all over the place. This division and fight between the brothers, between these two conscious forms of masculine and feminine. And they're brothers, one's a sun and one's a moon frequency. One operates in the dark, one operates in the light. What's beautiful right now is that they've brought back the Dark Crystal as a series, and perfect timing. Storytelling is always in perfect timing for the shift in consciousness to support, and the Dark Crystal movie redone in this series lets you get deeper into that split nature. The split nature between those two dark brothers, the Skeksis and the Mystics. And when we reunify ourselves, we're empowered to awaken and return to the true space of our loving, stable, fruitful, embodied, earthly nature. What do we need for that right now? Pulling cards. There's all kinds of ways to do this. To go into the frequency of the Hermit. The Hermit is the mystic on the mountaintop, where there is a non-compete. He, she, it, consciousness in the he form, because consciousness is primarily masculine versus feminine. It is non-competitive when it's by the time it's at the Hermit, because it's given up grasping, it's given up attachment, and it is willing to just be with the mysteries and be with the presence of Earth. And it holds its lamp, its light outside itself, the Hermit, to guide those in need to their space of presence, their space of non-grasping, to embodied flow with one another. Where does this lead? I'm doing cards because I love symbols. Knight of Cups. This is the King of Cups in this deck, and that means it leads to the union and reunion of the masculine and feminine, which is basically the deep feminine of the web of consciousness that works completely in the dark, like the High Priestess, receiving the sun, the king and queen working together, spirit and body, in a unified purpose to allow the free expression of mind in a space of celebration and play. And this is the new earth. So be mindful with your words. Be brave in your actions. Take all the steps necessary to honor that which you know is sacred for you. Be perseverant. Be trusting. And walk your path to free all of us. The more of us that walk our true path, the more freedom is created for all, and the more we return to a state of complete celebration here on earth in every moment, with non-grasping and non-competition. And the time is now, and it's happening. On the practical aspect for your kidneys, if you don't know what to do about kidney stones, drink plenty of fresh squeezed lemon water, and you can take some food grade hydrogen peroxide to help break them down more. Take it watered down, 3 to 8 drops in 8 ounces water, 2 to 3 times a day. Food grade hydrogen peroxide you can buy online. Make sure you dilute it, as it is caustic without dilution. There's that, the lemon water, and malic acid, and that means you can either eat apples, drink apple juice, or take malic acid as a supplement. I love you all. There's a little bit of mysticism And medicine.